Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome in to Mornings with Loretta. So, as consumers are struggling to navigate yet another heavy-hitting cold and flu season, yes, it has not gone anywhere. It is important to uncover the misconceptions surrounding the alarming overuse of antibiotics. And I'm so glad that we have Dr. Ken Redcross here to help us because I am guilty not of over medicating myself or overusing it, but using old antibiotics for a new something. And so he is here to get rid of those questions. I know you're ready to jump in because I know it's wrong.
I am, Loretta. Say it isn't so. That's a no. Look, I'm here to tell you that we've learned that when antibiotics are used inappropriately, it increases antimicrobial resistance. Just last year, 2.8 million infections in the United States just last year were resistant to antibiotics. And unfortunately, 35,000 people lost their lives because they had these infections that weren't responsive to antibiotics. But there is a silver lining, Loretta, in that we're starting to focus on urgent cares. There was an urgent care study that pointed out 7 in 10 people, when they go to the urgent care, ask for an antibiotic, which we don't want to do during the cold and flu season.
And you know what? Because I used to do that, and I wanted to just preface the show because I talked to some people at a meeting yesterday on mental health care, and I told them what, they said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, Dr. Redcross is going to come there. We're going to talk about antibiotics." And they're like, "Why are you talking about antibiotics?" I'm like, "Because of that question right there. That's why, because we don't talk enough about it."
We really don't. We don't. And the thing is, Loretta, to your point in your meeting yesterday, we don't talk enough about antibiotics. Number one, we need to understand, how do they work? Well, they work by attaching to the cell wall of the bacteria. But the key was with the viruses don't have cell walls. So there's nothing for the antibiotic to really attach to. And I think, Loretta, if everyone sort of understood this, they would understand that once you get the cold or you get the flu, the antibiotics don't really have a place. It's so important that I partner not only with Mucinex, but also with primary and urgent care centers with a campaign that we call Flip the Script. We want to flip it so that we're not thinking about prescriptions, but we're thinking about things over the counter that do help your symptoms, such as Mucinex.
I'm so glad we're having this conversation because my first question, and you kind of answered it, but I wanted to be just kind of verbatim on this question to make sure I ask it so that people can get the answer to it. So why is there a growing concern about the widespread inappropriate use of the antibiotics, and what impact does it have on public health? Because you kind of shared, but I just wanted people to understand it is not just in Memphis, it's not just in New York, it's everywhere. We as parents and as people please tell people that a cold is viral and not bacterial, and does
Exactly, Loretta. You hit the nail right on the head. This is not only a United States thing. I'm talking about this campaign that we're on, Flip the Script, that we're focusing here in the United States. But Loretta, quite honestly, it's a worldwide problem. And it's important that we all understand that with the common cold, I'll say it again, and with the flu, antibiotics are not of any use. Remember, there is no cell wall. Antibiotics attach to cell walls. Bacteria have them, viruses do not. So there is no role here. But there are things over the counter that can provide symptomatic relief. And we have to remember as well that as we look at things like Mucinex that can help with the congestion, with the cough, that doesn't contribute to antibiotic resistance, we have to have a good relationship with our doctor just to make sure we rule out or rule in anything else that may be going on with our bodies, but we need that relationship.
And I think it's so important for us to understand, and for you as a medical professional to tell us this. Just because when we get a prescription for antibiotics for whatever bacterial thing is going on with us, we start feeling better. And so we start saving the antibiotic for when we're not feeling well again. Number one, red flag. And then number two, we not only take that antibiotic that was written for something else that we had, we'll give it to maybe our children or a friend who says, "I think I got a tooth infection or a sinus infection." Do you still? So can you address that big elephant in the room?
I would be happy to address that elephant. And you almost got away. I almost forgot to circle back to that, because I'll tell you this, everyone, using those antibiotics in the way that we're talking about, someone else's antibiotic or an old antibiotic, that's creating the challenge that I'm here for today. The misuse and the overuse, which then leads to antimicrobial resistance, meaning that they don't work. They don't work when we need them. believe me, when you think you're feeling better with that particular antibiotic, lots of times I don't know if it was really bacterial and it wasn't viral, and you later got better on your own at that particular point. But definitely, those are two no-nos. You don't use someone else's antibiotic and you don't use old antibiotics, which gets back to that point that I mentioned before. Have to have a good relationship with your doctor so you can have these sort of conversations.
See, that is a whole nother topic that we need to discuss. I had somebody on and I was so impressed with that they said our patients have a number, not just a after hours number to reach them. And I'm like, you know what? That's real one-on-one medical care. And in this day and age, we need it. But I understand why people don't want to give their doctors their cell numbers. I do get that. But
well, I'll tell you, Loretta, my patients have it because I'm a concierge doc. So I am on call for them to focus on those things that are important: trust, respect, empathy, and communication, which is really necessary during a cold and flu season. So I'm glad to hear some other docs ascribe to that as well.
And I just heard about that like a few months ago. So I totally love it. I don't even have, well, I do have mine, but I feel like I'm special because of what I do. But let me get back to this antibiotic thing. And I love how you said that it won't work on a cold or flu, because for the antibiotic to work, it has to, the virus or the bacteria has to have something to attach to. No, the antibiotics attaches to something that's not present in a cold or flu.
You get an A, Loretta. Absolutely. That's the point. Antibiotics, I should say bacteria, everyone, has a cell wall. Antibiotics latch onto that. Viruses do not. There's nothing to latch onto. There's nothing for an antibiotic to do with the virus. And so that's why with Flip the Script campaign, with the urgent care centers and with Mucinex, we're letting everyone understand there's something there right under the over-the-counter that helps with your symptoms, such as the congestion, the cough, and to really make sure that you're feeling better without making sure that you're contributing to antibiotic resistance.
Okay, this time is going too fast. Okay, let me ask this golden question right now, because they said, Loretta, I can't take my antibiotics. I get it for my flu or my cold. But so can we tell people how to effectively manage their cold and their flu? What's the golden ticket for that? Now that we know what not to do.
So the golden ticket are two things. Number one, that education piece. So now you understand that there's no need for the antibiotic. That's number one. Number two, that relationship with the doctor is the other key that's important to make sure that we are dealing with exactly what's going on with your body, and to recognize that over-the-counter meds such as Mucinex are very helpful for symptom relief that can help us expel the mucus easier so that it's easier for us to feel better and get back to our lives.
You know what? And I'm not saying this because you're on and because you mentioned Mucinex, but our family has to have Mucinex in our medicine cabinet. It lasts longer. It really does get the job done. And then there's a Mucinex for like those, adults and then kids. I think we're using Mucinex for kids. If we weren't supposed to, we have used it. So can you tell us, is that something that we should be giving our kids to? Is there a formula for the children as well?
You know what? I would tell everyone to make sure you look at the box. It depends on kind of where you live. I'm here in New York and there's different things on the shelf. So when you look at the box, it's going to let you know which ages are safe. But I will tell you this. I like to also complement Mucinex with the increased fluids, increased water, which is important anyway. I tend to find that with my patients and with my family, just like you, Loretta, I have Mucinex in my cabinet as well. I tend to find that really helps to make it be even more effective, which we should be doing during the cold and flu season anyway, and staying properly hydrated.
Okay, and you know how I learned how it makes sense? Because anytime there is fluid coming from your body, you're losing fluid. So we don't want to drink water when we have these sinus or whatever. We're not talking about sinus infection, but when we have cold and flu or any kind of way that our nose is running, you have to replace that fluid because you will dehydrate. And you see a lot of children in the ER because they've dehydrated once they get colds and flu. And I've learned that personally from, just doing this show, but it is imperative that we not only take the medicine, and you said it best, we gotta rehydrate ourselves. Well, you didn't say rehydrate because I like to make up words here, but you said we need to hydrate.
That's okay. And you also get insatiable losses, we call them, Loretta. In other words, when you're sweating, things that you don't know you're losing, like something like a runny nose. So you are right, staying hydrated. And I'm okay with you making up words like that about hydration. It fits perfectly.
All right, I know I got to let you go, but we're going to have to do this show again. Like I said, we were matching energy here. I can tell your passion is exuding through the screen, that you're so passionate being a doctor, a medical care professional. So tell us where we can go for more information, and you got to come back.
Oh, I would love to. And I was saying, guys, this Flip the Script campaign, I'm so excited about, and learn more at mucinexfight.com. There are a lot of wonderful resources for you there. Be well.
Be well and stay well by following these instructions, not from Loretta McNary, but I've learned from the best. So I know not to take my antibiotics or take all my antibiotics first of all. And then I won't remedicate myself when I get a cold or flu with an antibiotic, because it is not bacterial. So there's nothing for the antibiotic to attach to help heal the body. So you taught me. I get an A.
You get an A. Graduated from the Redcross School of Education on Mucinex and its usefulness during cold and flu season.
I'll be looking for my certificate in the mail. Dr. Redcross, thank you so much. I know you got to go, but happy holidays, and you and your family be safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, thank you. Take care and be well, everybody. Many blessings.
Yes, bye-bye. So, I have to tell you about Dr. Redcross, because you see how knowledgeable he is, how passionate he is, but he is a board certified internal medicine physician. His expertise is capturing how to best provide the ultimate patient experience for those frustrated with the deterioration of the patient-doctor relationship. I totally agree with that, and I can see how he's doing that. And he said this word, I never heard it used in medicine, but he said he's a concierge medical professional. So his approach has led to the development of an impressive following of patients from the entertainment industry, sports world, and business leaders from Los Angeles to New York. So when I'm telling you, well, before we even went live, I said, this is going to be a great segment, but I got to go. I'm meeting my brother for lunch. It's so cool, right? But anyway, as always, this season is tough. I know that. Hang in there, because Christmas is in a few more days. We'll celebrate. We'll praise the Lord. We'll celebrate his birth. We'll spend time with family and friends. We'll overeat for those I'm projecting, but Loretta will overeat. And then I'll get back on track. But please remind yourself that you matter. Whether you have a big turkey and ham or whatever in the refrigerator ready to cook, or you don't have anything ready to cook, whether you have a Christmas tree that's beautifully decorated with tons of presents, or no tree and no presents, or a tree without presents, or present without trees, you matter, and it's okay. It's okay. Stop comparing yourself to what you used to do or what people are doing, because it puts so much pressure on our mind or soul, and then it starts coming out in our body as sickness. So it's okay. This holiday season is life, and we get to see another day. We get to love ourselves, love others around us, and spend time with them. But just in case you don't, it's okay. It's okay, because you yourself are enough, and you deserve to have nice holiday, however you want to do it. It doesn't have to be, what everybody else is doing traditionally. You can start your own tradition. Don't get bogged down on trying to please everybody and do what Mama and them used to do, and do Christmas, do you, love you. And then let me tell you, honey, I'm already planning for 2024. I'm going to enjoy the holidays with my family, but I promise you, I have so many goals written down. I've been journaling like crazy, but let me tell you, you will get through this. This too shall pass. And on the other side is so much goodness and so much greatness and so much love and care and endless possibilities. So enjoy your holiday. Until next time, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.